friends. Hello. My name is Andrew Hochradel, and if my eyes look a little bit tired, I was up pretty late last night. I was a little bit worried about all the things, couldn't stop thinking about it, but it's okay to be worried. It's okay to be stressed. If you need to talk to a friend about it, talk to a friend about it. But today we are putting our chins up. We are putting our smiles on. We are tossing on our thinking caps, and we're going to make something positive, fun, and creative, and hopefully something that is very community based. So if you don't know me, my name is Andrew Hochradel. Hello. A lot of people just call me Hoch. It's Hoch because it's very German. Hello, friends. Hannah and Juan and Ash. Hello. Hey. Hello. Oh, Francisco. Hello, Francisco. Hi, Anna. Hello, friends. I'm so excited to see you guys in chat. Today's going to be very collaborative. We're going to kind of be going off the cuff. We have a little bit of a brief. We have some inspiration, but we will be working on a branding system today. Let's just hop in and start talking. We are here for a little while. We're here till I think about 2 o'clock. So we will be doing a lot of design, and today working on building out a full brand system. We're going to try to do logo, typography, colors, and if you are an employer or someone who wants to hire a designer that's watching this usually isn't how the process works. It's not a 2-day, 4-hour thing. Usually it's a little bit longer than that. My process is usually between an 8-week process to like a 10-week process. Lots of discovery, lots of that kind of stuff. But we're just here to have fun, and I have an entire team of people in chat. I think there's 300 or 400 of you, which is super fun. Hello, Jack. Hello, Tristan. Hello, friends. So we're going to be collaborating today. And as you can see, the project that we are collaborating on is something that I've launched just 2 days ago. My goodness. And it's called Canceled Con, right up here. So Canceled Con was an idea that I had to basically take a lot of these design conferences that were being postponed or being canceled and try to have an online hangout, an online creative event to bring a lot of the people from the creative community online. It's going to be 2 days, Saturday and Sunday, April 4th and 5th. You can get more information at canceledcon.com, and let's hop over there right now. There we go. So over here at canceledcon.com, you can see we kind of have a vibe going. We haven't really established anything. This is something that I threw together in literally an afternoon, and I was like, oh, this could be super fun. Like, let's do it, and let's throw a website up and put some type and kind of mess around with it. So it's been out there. It kind of blew up, and a lot of people have seen this. And so today what we're going to be doing is keeping the essence of this look, but really defining it. And my goal is to give all of you these assets. So if you want to promote, if you want to do something special, if you want to have a side event, you'll have all the assets, everything in a Creative Cloud library that will be open and free to you to use on whatever you want. So let's kind of look through here. And CanceledCon, again, it's the 4th and the 5th. We just added the 5th. And if you look at the branding right now, it's really like this red color with like this kind of strike through thing happening. And that's it. These are a lot of the friends that are coming on. It's a great lineup. It's going to be super fun. But the problem is with throwing together a brand, I started posting things and it kind of just turned into this hodgepodge of like, random videos and like, okay, like people's names are crossed out, but like why? And like this logo type is like a different typeface than the one that's actually on the website. Like it doesn't make sense. It's bad branding, but I needed to get something out. Sometimes if you have a good idea with a bad application, it's still a good idea. And so today we're going to try to pair a good idea with a good application. Hello, Ash. Hello, Aiken. Hello, Andreas. Hello, Kenneth. Kenneth Reum. That's a really fun last name. Yes, Colby. Victor's on the list. Victor is going to be doing portfolio reviews along with Mitch Goldstein. We will have a Discord channel going on during the live stream for all of you to get feedback on your portfolios. Because hopefully you can button those up during this time and go after clients, because after everything goes back to normal, it's kind of a great time for all of your clients to do a big rebrand or launch a campaign. So now's a great time to button up those portfolios, start pitching clients. We also today, I think, are doing a Photoshop Creative Challenge. It was happening a little bit earlier today. We're going to be reviewing those at the end of the stream. So if you start posting those in the Discord, you can get some feedback at the end of the stream. I think I'm going to start doing feedback around like 1:30, 1:45-ish. But you can download the source files, all that stuff here. Where's my Discord button? There it is. You also can go to this link here, bit.ly/psdiscord. And that is where you can get into the Discord. It's a great community. Let's see what's happening over there. There's a picture of a sheep. It might be a goat. It's probably a goat because it has like the weird square eye, and it has the like, would thou love to live deliciously. I'm here for pop culture references, y'all. That's what I do. All right, so let's hop in and start talking about branding a little bit. Now, this is the screen. When you see this screen, that means I'm going to talk to you a little bit. I was a teacher and educator for 8 years, and so I like to talk a lot about the why and the theory behind design before we get into it. When we're building out a brand system, we want to make sure that the why works, that the core and the base is working so that it doesn't kind of just become an aesthetic. So what we're doing today is we are going to use 3 things. We are going to use icons, indexes, and symbols. Indexes are things that give information. Let's say smoke would indicate that there is a fire, right? So indexes give indication. Indexes can be something like a color. They can be the relation of objects to each other, or they could be something like a motion line, right? They give us information. And then symbols are things like letters or even a red octagon. Yes, red octagon that is a stop sign, right? We know that. And symbols are just understood within a cultural context without any other information, right? So this over here, right there, is a symbol for a community that I'm in on Slack called 2 Cents. And we're a community that hangs out in Slack every day. We've been in there for 3 or 4 years now. And this is a symbol that represents them, right? And because many of you on here had never heard about 2 cents, you don't know what this means. You're like, is it like a cent symbol for like money? But like, why does it have 2 strike throughs? It's because it's a symbol. So a lot of logos are symbols that within a context, you start to understand what they mean. So we're going to be making a symbol today, working on a logo for CanceledCon. And I'm going to get a lot of information and help from you guys while we do that. The other thing is a icon. That's what it is. And an icon is something that represents what it is. So over here, there we go. This is an icon here for a snake because it looks like a snake. A lot of great illustrators, like people like Josh Arisa, I know do a lot of icons. And even though it may not be a simple icon that's condensed down to its most simple shapes and like is the dribble, like you'll post it on Dribble, icons can be illustrations. They just are what they represent. All right, man, we're in a horror zone. I just realized there's a Hereditary poster I made up here, and then we talked about The Witch earlier. So we're in a horror zone. All right. So with that, how do you all feel about jumping into a project, right? Together. Let's do it. So let's hop over into Adobe Illustrator. And today we are going to be jumping back and forth probably between Illustrator and Photoshop. Let me move this over. Sorry, wrong screen. There we go. We're going to be jumping back and forth between Illustrator, between Photoshop. Tomorrow, we'll probably get into InDesign, which is a little bit of everything. I'm going to be showing you how to do data merges with both content to make name tags, but also social media images, because you can make data merges with images. So tomorrow is going to be very technical. We're going to show you how to do mockups and all that stuff. But today, we are looking at branding. Oh, excuse me. I had spicy ramen last night, and it's doing a whole thing. There we go. We're on the reel here, guys. We've hung out enough. If you haven't joined us for the Illustrator Daily Challenges, you know my zone. We're on the reel here. So hopping into CanceledCon, I put together some images kind of that serve as a mood board. But before we get there, I'm going to hop back over to the current artboard. So this is the artboard that I've been working with, and it's kind of just thrown together with the idea of this like strike through representing canceled. So this is where we're starting, and this is kind of something that we want to look at as a base inspiration. But let's go ahead and go back to our actual mood board. So something that we need to think about when we start on a brand is something called associated cognitive barriers. And associated cognitive barriers are basically this. So if I say, hey, I want you all to design a chair, what are the essentials for that chair? In chat, if you guys start dropping, if I ask you that question, I want you to design a chair. What are the essential things that you need for it to be a chair? Like what constitutes it being a chair? So drop those into chat, and it's going to be really interesting to see what you say. And then I'm going to explain to you about what associated cognitive barriers are. There's a little bit of delay on chat, so I'm stalling currently to get some of your answers in there to see how you would design a chair. Associated cognitive barriers, another great example could be Easter, right? When you look at Easter, what do you think? What is a promotional campaign have to have to symbolize or represent Easter? Lindsay, a place for the booty. Yep, that could be a thing. What else do we have for chairs? Legs, a seat. Yep, support. Yes, those are all things that have to be in a chair. But 4 legs and a flat seat, that's a great answer, Kenneth, and that's exactly what I was going for, is associated cognitive barriers are things that people immediately think of when they're associated to a topic. So just like Easter is eggs and pastels and clouds and candy, a chair has to have 4 legs and a place for the booty and a back. But what I love to do is think about what are the associated cognitive barriers and how can we twist them? How can we take a different perspective on them so it's familiar but new? And the way I like to explain that is we take a context and move it. We take a content and we change it by doing the changing the context. Fian's Twitter said the hoods are on. Yeah, I could be the hoods. I'm blonde too. This is my hood hair. They will actually be joining us on CancelCon, so come hang out with them. They'll be there. So associated cognitive barriers, we want to take a inventory of things that we think of when we think about the idea of CanceledCon. So I'm just going to make a text box over here, and I'm doing that by just hitting T. I'm going to hit Command T, and that's bringing up my text box here. And I'm going to go ahead and make this a little bit smaller. And what I'm doing here is I use Illustrator, yes, to design, but design is more than colors and shapes. It is a thought process and a way of thinking. So what I like to do is have a text box over to the side. So as I talk about things and as I investigate the client, I will type in things that are associated cognitive barriers. So when I think about something being canceled, right, we think about things that are maybe strike-through'd. We think about things that are kind of like aggressive. Like I feel like if it's canceled, maybe not aggressive, but forthcoming, forward, punchy, right? It's bold. It's kind of in your face. What other things do we think of, chat, when we think of something being canceled, of an event being canceled? Or even canceled in another association of the word. And this is where we start to break those cognitive associations, is maybe canceled is right, someone getting canceled on Twitter. Like cancel culture is a huge thing. So what do we think about? We think about hashtags. Oh my goodness. I always think about like blank is over party. That's like a thing that happens all the time. What else do we think about when we think of canceled? I always think of very like simple and bold, clean. It feels like kind of rebellious sometimes. And it feels like it's always upstaging something, right? When I think about something being canceled, we have the original and something has to be canceled. And so we need something that maybe is like stacked or upstaging. Across X, yes. That is a big thing. Something being crossed out. Or even like redacted. Yes, the color red, I think, is one of those associated cognitive barriers that like we need to keep. I think it's something that people think about canceled, like red is the thing. Yep, the X, I think, and ending, something ending, maybe something like getting like cut short, being cut short. Let's see, a couple more from chat coming in. Frustration, yep, being like a little bit aggravated. And so these are maybe some of the visual cues that we want. And then maybe in our key messaging, right, we pair this with something like we want it to be a community event. So maybe it's community, it's positivity, it's a little tongue-in-cheek, it's sassy. We're going to say fat and sassy. Fat and sassy. Just getting all fat and sassy. Let's see. Friendship, fun, antics. So things like that. So as I explain the context for content, the content of the event are these things: community, positivity, tongue-in-cheek, it's a little fun, fat and sassy, friendship, some antics. But we want to communicate that through the idea of this like aggressive kind of canceled. So we're going to take these very warm and happy feelings and see if we can flip them with a very aggressive and punchy look. Yes, black box. Yes. Sassy, relief, social anxiety. Yes. Okay, cool. Can you do this on iPad too? Yes. Aiden, you can do this on a piece of paper if you want. Design and especially branding doesn't have to be done in Illustrator or Photoshop or InDesign. It can be done in one of those. It can be done in all of those. It can be done with a scanner. It can be done with your phone. Branding is about creative exploration and defining a visual language for whatever the content is. And that is what we are doing today. So let's hop in. Aiden, if you want to sketch along with us, actually, if you're on iPad, we're going to be doing a lot of sketching today. So sketch along with us. So let's look at our mood board. And these things are things that I picked out that I felt like had the emotional resonance that I wanted to accomplish with the look for the conference, right? I love this Sorry We're Closed, right? It's big and bold and punchy, something about the letters on black. I love this Velvet Underground poster. It feels like this kind of like zine slash like pamphlet flyer, right, that you would put out, like a Xerox copy. I think that idea of like a Xerox copy could be interesting. And again, my artboards are always an utter disaster because I will toss like little notes like this that I think are important. And maybe if I think it's important, like let's toss it in this orange, like, hey, this could be important. Pay attention to that. There's no wrong way to design and there's no wrong workflow. Whatever works for you, works for you. I think we talked about the strike through. I think this idea of the strike through is kind of interesting. I think maybe a visual language of different angles of strike throughs could be interesting. Maybe having those red lines that we've incorporated already, but doing some twists on them, having different angles, that kind of stuff. Let's see. I love this type here. I just love the chunkiness of it. Like it's thick with like 7 C's. And I love how heavy it feels. It has a weight to it. And a lot of times, branding is visual translating. We're taking a message and translating it into a visual means. So you need to ask yourself as a designer and translator, how does this make me feel, right? If we don't understand the language, right? If we're in a different country, we don't understand the language, someone could yell at us and we know that we like are feeling scared and like backed off. And it's the same thing with design. We look at it and we are translating. So here it feels thick. It feels heavy. It feels like it has a place, like it's a little chunky. And so I want to incorporate some of that idea. And like I said, I'm just going to drop a little thing on here and I am just going to say that, because I think these letters are thick and gorgeous. This idea I think is interesting. This is kind of that idea that we talked about of upstaging, of taking photography and kind of overlaying stuff on top of it. Oh, I'm sorry. I have a typo here. There we go. 7 C's. I think that the stacking and upstaging is interesting. And I think that we're actually going to play with this more tomorrow when we get into photo applications. I'm going to build a Photoshop action for you so that you can place a photo in, run the action, and it will tone the action for you. It will do the look and feel of the conference, and then you can drop other elements on top of it if you want it for a social media profile, if you want to promote, or whatever you want. It will be at the link at canceledcon.com that has the assets. It's just a shared Creative Cloud folder that is for all of you. I definitely think that for overall layout and composition, off-white is like a zone that I want to go to, right? I like the idea of it not having too much, but still having like that attitude. And I feel like off-white just has that cheeky, like, what are you going to do about it? And I think that's kind of fun to pair something that is warm and welcoming with the idea of being like a little aggressive and like standoffish. I think it's interesting to like contrast those two and create this tension that like butts them together. Cause I think it just creates something visually interesting. This stuff for Chili's, I don't know if Chili's like used this, but I have it in my Pinterest and it's just gorgeous. Something again, simple, maybe doing some badges. We might do those today. We'll see how far we get. And I like the idea of this, of the one tone kind of, gradient mapped, RISO printed look. And I thought maybe the dynamic of what's happening here and here, of kind of this content in the back, but then something upstaging it. Maybe when we do business card mockups tomorrow, which like, why are we doing business cards? Because I love you. We're not going to print them. Doing business cards maybe tomorrow, we do like a fake brand that's like a baseline that's just super basic, that looks corporate, and then toss something on top of it that has like the kind of aggressive punch that it's like, oh, it was branding for another conference and we've taken over it, right? And upstaged whatever that was. This stuff that looks gorgeous. I should credit all these people. I'm so sorry if I'm using your work and I haven't dropped a credit on here. If you know who these are, or if it is yours, drop a link, say hello in chat. I will try to have links tomorrow for you. But I think this is interesting. The color scheme here, the red and blue, I think is something that contrasts and like vibrates a little bit. And I like the idea of feeling like the blue is sitting in the background and that red is like just punching you in the face. And again, the boldness of this is the emotional equivalent of what I want the conference to be. Now, if you remember the Matrix, they have that scene where like they go into the Matrix and it like flies back and they're like in the Matrix, and then it's like, oh, whatever you're wearing is how you see yourself and how you'd like think about yourself in the Matrix. This is that. This kind of vibe is the emotional kind of vibe that I want for the branding. And yes, there's weird stuff going on, Joshua. That's what we do. I need the skeleton boy. Joshua, weird stuff is kind of my zone. But it's fun, weird stuff. I think weird is interesting and being different is just fine. So yes, bold, punchy. So let's hop in. And let's actually start with sketching some logo ideas. Because we have some of the branding kind of locked in, I kind of want to go back to the logo. We have the vibe and the feel of what we want here with our mood boards. So let's start sketching some ideas. And this is where, chat, I want all of your ideas. If you're at home working on something in chat, hello, Alexandria, welcome, first time. If you're in chat, literally drop me ideas, drop me feedback. You will have full merit to be an over-the-shoulder designer. We are doing this together, and I want it to be something that we build together. Something else that I'm going to try to do with this is I'm a firm believer now, and kind of this is such a hot take, but I like sticking to it. I think that logos are on their way out, and logos aren't going to matter in a little while. I think it's more about brand systems and how things look and feel and work together. And so we are going to be, yes, making a logo, but instead we're going to be making a bunch of logos. I will deem them all canon for Canceled Con. I will put them in the Creative Cloud folder for you, and you can use them on whatever you want, however you want, with some guidelines that we will be defining as we build this brand. So If you've ever watched my stream together, you know my favorite place to go to is, drumroll please, camera 2. Let's hop over to camera 2 and see what's going on over there. All right, here we are, camera 2. Got to make sure that we're lined up. Oh, this is my microphone cord. Let's. There we go. Oh, we're doing it. All right, cool. All right, so Canceled Con, let's just start kind of sketching some ideas. I always write up here, Canceled Con. Let's actually move this microphone a little bit that way. There we go. So I always write Canceled Con or whatever the name is at the top, just to have it to reference and look at. And as I start to sketch, the very first thing that I will do is I will look at the, sorry, I got a little bit hot in the mic there. I will look at the shapes of the letters. This sometimes will help inform me about what I can do with maybe a logo type, how I can augment those, how I can put them together to create a kind of cool look. I'm doing a lot of hand movements over here. So let's under here just start mapping out what these letters look like. So the shapes of these letters, we have a circle letter, and let's do it all in caps because, right, if we're talking about visual translating, canceled does not say lowercase to me, right? Canceled says uppercase, bold, thick, in your face. And there are actually 2 spellings of canceled. Everyone's been getting on me about the 2 L's. There are 2. You can use either. I have both domains as well, so hop into whatever you want. There's no rules. Do whatever you want. All right, so we're just mapping out these shapes of these letters, and I go with basic shapes. It's either a circle letter, a square letter, or a triangle letter. This helps inform me about what maybe I can do with a logo type, what I can do with a monogram. And so I'm just going through CANCELE. D, man, D is a hard one because it's technically a rectangle, but it also is kind of a circle. Agreed on all caps. Yes, absolutely. So the D, then we have a C, then we have an O, and then we have a box. So we're in all rectangle or circle letters, which is most letters. And then we have that triangle of the A, which I know when I look at this, we are going to have problems with kerning and problems with pairings in all of these things. Right here, we're going to have problems kerning here. We're going to have problems kerning here. Another one here. Here's going to be trouble, and that's going to be trouble too. So yes, this is going to be trouble to do a logo type. So we might do a logo type, but it won't look locked in how we want it to be bold and punchy. So let's start working on maybe some logos. Canceled Con, the 2 things that come to mind, again, just an abbreviation of CC. We talked about some of the ideas of like a strike through. I'm going to grab my red pen here. Talked about a strike through kind of vibe. We talked about maybe having like an X that's doing a thing, right? And I think the red overlay is interesting. So, right, maybe we have our scribbles and there's some kind of like red overlay. And again, we're just doing this all by to get a basis, and then we're going to hop into Illustrator. It's easier to get it on paper than to try to go straight into Illustrator. Illustrator is great for vector. It's great for rendering. It's great for taking something from the real world into the digital. So right now we're laying the base in the real world, and then we are going to take it into Illustrator. So let's start working with this CC. If you have a sketch to show, let's do this. If you have a sketch to show, hop into Discord. I'm probably going to get in trouble for this. Let's do it. If you have a sketch to show, hop into Discord, hop into the chat channel on the Photoshop Discord, which the Discord link is right here. We probably shouldn't do this, but here we go. Drop your sketch in here if you have a sketch. I'd love to look at those. Love to be cooperative and collaborative on this. Super textured could be nice, yeah. So let's maybe start working on shapes. I know that the CC, right, we have these kind of 2 circles to work with, I think is interesting. So maybe something like this kind of thing. Maybe there's like, I think Comedy Central's is like that. So we can't do that. But maybe something like Chicago Cubs, I think, is one of those. Maybe we play with this C shape and it has the strike through, right? We're starting to think with indexes, right? So we have the C, which is just telling us it's a symbol, doesn't really mean anything, but there's an index of us having a strike through, which means that like, oh, something's happening. It's like, it's being attacked. It's being canceled, right? No links. Yes, you can't drop links in chat, but you can drop an image into the chat in Discord. So maybe we do like a C, like a canceled con. Maybe it's offset like this, and maybe we can get some kind of like X going here, right? So like we have C, and then we have the other C, right? We're just looking at things that that cue into our visual cues. So we kind of have an X going here, right? Something like that. Can, con. Oh yeah, interesting. Yes, red. Yeah, I agree. Yes, red. Yeah, and Sky just put his sketch up in Discord. Let's hop on over there real quick. So he put a sketch up in Discord, I think is interesting. I think that I do want to run with this. When I was playing with ideas for logos before, I was in a zone kind of like this. So I think that we should explore that some more. But let's hop back in and let's sketch some more. If you're working in Illustrator, totally work in Illustrator and drop those sketches and ideas into Discord. So I wonder if we did something that was like a C, right? And then we have the smaller C. And then I wonder if we just like connected it here. I literally made a C. You guys, I literally just made like another C. Oh, this has happened so many times. You're like, oh, I think I have a great idea. And you're like, oh, I just made something stupid. So maybe... Okay, maybe let's do the strike through. A lot of people are talking about the strike through and like the hand drawn. I think that's interesting. Let's try this. Let's build it. Let's build a logo around the strike through. This cord is killing me, but I don't really have another place to put it. So we're going to work with it. So maybe we have the strike through, right? And then maybe we build the C around the strike through, right? So it has like a cutout and it goes like this way. So it almost turns into this half circle. Okay, this is, yes, LOL, yeah, we're having a C moment. I think this is interesting, and I wonder how it would work as like a single mark. A lot of times, guys, sketching is just super rough. I think it's interesting, especially if we extend this out a little bit. I think that's interesting to have a break, because then in theory, right, if we're breaking that like kind of C mark, we could do that on something like a photo application. We could have the top of a C here. It is a burger. It kind of did turn into a burger. Maybe we'd have the other side of the photo here, do something that has the strike through the middle, right? And then maybe it's like a faux border. So like the strike through goes all the way and like this is the actual image size. But this is like a picture of a person maybe, right? And we're just brainstorming ideas here. A little bit of London Underground logo. Yes. So the London Underground actually, I was a history design teacher, so I'm going to teach you about London Underground. It was a system that was put in place because people were just posting whatever they wanted in the London Underground. So our friend Alfred Roller designed a type system to clean things up, and they actually made a series of posters that the series of posters were showing all of the different locations that you could go to help highlight all the places along the stops. And it became super famous because it was a very clean design system. I wonder if we do 2 C's here, right? And then do like the X in the middle. I think that's kind of interesting, especially, guys. Okay, so when we think about, right, a circle, so it's going to have anchor points like here, here, and here, right? Those. So I wonder if we do like a Pac-Man, right? That in theory, we have this circle and then we follow this line in, and then we follow this line in, and then we have a second C that's happening here. So it becomes this, and it like hits on this line, and it hits on that line, and then this kind of comes through and overlaps those. I think that's interesting. Okay. I think we have enough ideas. Jay, yes, cool sketch. I like the kind of like the vertical. This is happening in Discord, which I think, there we go, I can put it up. This is an interesting sketch. I like the kind of like the mirrored of like the cancel con. That'll be interesting. So we can explore those, but let's hop into Illustrator. Since this is an Illustrator stream on the Adobe channel and we haven't gotten into the program yet, that's fine. Sometimes that's the creative process. They're all about creativity for all. And so these are different ways to be creative. Canceled con. I actually like the idea of having Rebecca having one C that is like destroyed and then one that is like fine. So let's hop over into Illustrator and start working with some of these. And I'm going to use a lot of hotkeys here, and I will be narrating those hotkeys as I go, hopefully to give you guys a little bit of education as well as we go through and learn about branding. Over to, yes, very 90s, very strike through grungy. David Carson is a great person to look for if you're looking at this style. Huge design hero of mine. He's awesome. So let's start playing with some of those ideas that we had. We had an idea, right? I'm just going to make a couple circles here. I'm hitting L to grab the ellipse tool. And I can click and drag out holding Alt and Shift. If you click and drag holding Shift, it's going to make it proportioned, I don't know, to be perfectly symmetrical. If you do that holding Alt, it also will do it from the center, so you can drag out. There's not really a difference in the two, but I like to do that. Yes, David Carson is one of the reasons I'm a designer. The other reason I'm a designer is James White. He's the best. He got me into design when I was a teenager. I was like, I want to be like this guy. And he's going to be at CancelCon too. And if you want to see me cry live on stream, it's going to be when I'm interviewing James White during CancelCon. Like literally, I almost started crying thinking about it. Okay, here we go. So we're going to make these circles. I'm going to select this. I'm going to hit Shift X. And what that's going to do is it's going to shift the stroke and the fill. We want this to be a stroke because I want to play with lines. Usually when I'm making logos, I will play with lines before I play with shapes just to kind of see what I can get. And I'm increasing the stroke up here to make it a little bit thicker. Valdair, you're here every single time. I'm so glad to see you. Thank you for hanging out. Yes, buying ray gun. That is a great thing, Kenneth. I agree. So we're going to work here. I don't like it in orange. I like to work in black. That's like my life motto. What clothes do you have? Black. So we have this shape here. And what's interesting about Illustrator is it is mathematical based. It's based on vectors and vector points. So if we click here and we hit A, which is the direct selection tool, up here it's just the white one. It's going to show us all these anchor points. I have rotated this by 45 degrees. So I selected it when I made it, and you'll see all the anchor points are the top, bottom, left, and right. If I click, think about it being pinned in the center. And if I click and drag, you can see that it's rotating. It's a circle, so this is literally the worst example. But it's rotating. I'm clicking and dragging. If you hold Shift, it will click and drag at a 45-degree angle. You can see there up next to my cursor right here, it says -45. That means that I'm rotating it by -45 degrees, which is what we want. 90 degrees is a right angle, and 45 is halfway between that, and we want it at halfway between that. Because the anchor points were at the top and bottom, left and right, now they are at 45-degree angles. And we talked about making that X at like the 45s. Penalty. And so we're going to work with those 45s. So I'm going to grab the direct selection tool, and what we can do is just grab this little piece here. We don't want this piece. Sorry, bye. So I'm just grabbing and selecting that part of the arc and deleting it. Now I have an open path, but it's working in our favor. I've lost all of my menus, so I'm going to go ahead and toggle those on hitting F. And so now we have, right, this is a pretty good C. I think it could be thicker. Again, we need that 7C of thick. There we go. Oh no, let's bump it up to 100. Like if we're going to do 90, we might as well do 100. And now what I want to do is, I think we talked about doing like the inline to where it's like 2 C's with the X following through. I think that's interesting. And what I want to do is I want this base shape just to be here with us for the whole time. So I'm going to make a copy. And I do this. My artboards get absolutely insane. So I just made a copy there of this. I clicked it, held Alt and Shift, and moved it to the side. Click and drag. So what I'm going to do is I want to see what this looks like with an inline, because I want it to look like it is 2 C's. And a way to do that is I can come over here to the effects panel. And I just learned about this not too long ago. But if I click on the effects panel, or sorry, appearance, you can start stacking different effects and pieces of your design. So we know that we want the same C shape, but we want it to look like 2. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add another stroke. And you can do that by just clicking right here. And I didn't know you could do this for the longest time, but you can add multiple strokes, multiple fills, whatever you want stacked on a path. So now we've added another stroke. You'll see that we have one, which is the base stroke. And then we have one up here that's right above it. I'm going to change this one to white. And you can see, because they're set both at 100, it's just overlapping that. But if I start to take this down, oops, just clicking in here, and I'm holding Shift and just hitting down to take that down. Right? And if I start to take that down, you'll see it's a perfect inline because it's on the same path as the one under it. But because there's another path stacked on top, it's technically taking that away, right? Kind of cool. So I think that the thickness of those is interesting. I want to keep it at a round number. So let's actually go to 20. Let's do 20. We're going to do some math here. So we're doing 20. So now we zoom out, right? We've got this really good inline C, perfect 45-degree angles. Keeping things geometric is a great idea. So we have this perfect C. We have the 45-degree angles that we want. Let's go ahead and let's try something. Let's just try some things. Why not? I'm going to see what happens if I take this and I just do here. I click on this anchor point to continue that path. And I'm just going to bring this in at the 45. I'm just going to bring it over here. And after the fact, we can make it so that this cuts off in the right place. Actually, we can do that right now. We'll grab this anchor point and just move it over a little bit. We'll have it follow that curve later and actually cut off. And then do the same with this one and cut it off over that way. Right? So I kind of just made the X-Men logo. It's not great. It's too heavy and too visually complicated, right? We want it to be big and bold, not super overwhelming. So I'm going to delete these anchor points. Bye. But what I do want to do that I think would be interesting is to put a stroke that is starting at this point here and then just coming in at this 45 degree. We want to see this in black. Where'd my swatches go? Swatches. There we go. Let's do this in... that's my fault. I need true black. There we go. Yes, there we go. Yes, X-Men logo meets a medium pizza. Yes, Alberto, absolutely. Okay, so this is interesting, right? So we have this coming here, and then there would obviously be another one coming this way, right? It's still hitting the center of the X, which I think is interesting. And we're gonna do we're gonna do some math. So if this stroke, so we're gonna grab this stroke here that we've been working with. Look at our, oops. Look at our appearance panel. We have a stroke, base stroke that is 100, and we have a stroke on top of it that's 20. So that means that there is 80 pixels or 80 points left, which means that this top one is 40 and this bottom one is 40. Math. So 100 base, there's a 20-point stroke on top of it. That's 80 extra on both sides. That means 40 on top, 40 on the bottom. My goodness, math. Which means that when we do this, we are going to select these paths that we're doing here, which are currently set at 20 pixels, and take them up, 20 points. Oops, I selected too many things. And we're going to take these cross throughs and take them to 40. Yes, Alberto, I'm very sad about New Mutants getting delayed as well. My friend is actually in that movie. He's one of the villains, and he's been waiting for it to come out for like so long, and I feel bad. Okay, this is looking interesting, and I think this is even more interesting if we maybe cut off some of this extra. And again, I'm just getting like super loose with these. I'm going to drop some white on top. I know that I can change and actually do these in real vectors after the fact, but I'm just trying to see kind of what it would look like at a rough look. We don't want that going all the way over there. All right, so like maybe that goes there. This is somewhere there. What's my problem here? I think the problem is that we don't want it going over the X in the middle. We want a full X in the middle. There we go. And I'll just bring this one down here. We want it to overlap the C, but not detract from the X. Oh, help me out here, guys. What am I doing wrong here? Okay, it's not looking exactly how I want. Something weird's happening with like the edges. So let's maybe play with the other idea that we had, which was the C. Let's play with those. I'm actually not mad about that. Yeah, I'm not mad about that at all. Want to be able to design UIs like Andrea and want to be able to design vectors like Andrew. No, not too much to ask, Aiken. I have been designing for like probably 12 years. And so it's really just a ton of time. It's a ton of time and practice, and literally go through all of these menu items and see if you can break Illustrator. That's the best way to learn and learn everything. So we're going to go ahead and grab this, and I'm going to start working on the other idea, which is the strike through. And what I'm going to do, just because I think it'll be interesting, is let's go here and go edge to edge real quick. So I'm just have the pen tool, and pen tool is basically saying this path is going to start here and then end here. So what I want to do is we're going to take the pen tool, and I'm going to click here, and I want to make sure that it's even. So I'm going to take this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I made a euro symbol. Great job. So I took that. Let's take it 10. So I took it 10, 100 pixels. I'm holding shift, so it's 10 pixels each time. Okay, and I actually want this to extend. This is too much, so I want this to be 5. So let's do 50 there. Let's bring this over here. We're going to have to eyeball this one. So there's something called technical and optical. This side is technical. It is 50 pixels away from this edge. Here, because there's not an edge, we have to do it optically balanced to make sure that it looks like it's balanced, even though it may not be. So I think this is looking interesting. So let's make a copy. And again, I usually work right to left, which is not the way we read. There's a way of reading called Baustrafadon. And so if you guys want to look that up, Baustraphadon, Baustrafadon. It means that you read as the ox plows the field. It reads left to right. Now I'm going to make we're going to separate this because we talked about separating it so that we have like the arc of the C. I liked the idea of doing the 40 pixel or the 20 pixel kind of separation, just because it feels, for doing hundreds, it feels right. There, what I did is I just hit M, which is the rectangle tool. I clicked and did 20 pixels by 20 pixels. This is a great way to just make extra shapes if you're needing to be precise. You can type in however many pixels you want. And this is going to be super easy for me to just come in here and be like, boo. And we'll drop another one here. Again, this is not precise. We're just trying to get an idea of what it could look like. I actually love this. I'm super into this idea. Okay, let's go further. Let's try to do the mix of these two. And again, if you have ideas, 100% toss them into Discord, into that link. I'm gonna hop back into the link, see if anybody's done anything. Yeah, okay. So like a strike through. Yeah, we're playing with a strike through idea. Totally. That's a great idea. Yep, and we're working there. So let's keep going because I actually am like, we're on a vibe here. Sorry, there's a hair on the side and I keep thinking something's attacking me. This is looking good. Okay, so we have a kind of strike through C, very London Underground, but like in a twist way. Again, we're talking about visual balance. This feels heavy on the left now. I'm just going to bring this in 20 pixels, just a little bit. Now it feels unbalanced. We're going to take it back 10 pixels there. Now it feels balanced. Now let's start to combine the ideas. So I'm going to select this, and I want to do the inline. So I'm going to just grab the eyedropper tool and click up here. I did the wrong thing, guys. I'm going to go back into the appearance. I'm going to add the stroke. We're going to do white, and we're just going to take that to 20 like we have on the top one. All right, we're looking interesting. And if we do it in the center, 20 by 20. Yes, bit.ly/PS Discord. The Discord link for those asking is right up here. There we go. All right, so here we go, and I'm just going to do a 20 pixel strike through there. Not crazy about that, not crazy about these. I like this idea. So I like this one enough for us to keep working on it. That's my answer. I like this one enough to keep working on it, and I like this one enough to keep exploring the idea. And then I want to do one that's just like, who cares? Like, who cares? Let's just like, I don't know. Let's break the logo system. I want to do one that literally is just like this. And like, that's it. That's the logo. Like, I don't care. Like literally just a box with the C. It's terrible. It's a terrible idea, guys. Talk me out of this in chat, please. I think this is awful. I hate it. I'm banishing it. It's gone. Okay, so these are the two that we're going to start working with. I think they're interesting enough to start playing with. I think these angles give us fun elements to build into a further brand system. And I think this is something that obviously we can put text in there and start playing with that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a copy of these. These are my masters. And we're going to start making these into vectors. Right now, they are just strokes. And I want to make them into more clean vectors. So what we're going to do is... Actually, yeah, okay, never mind. I keep going back to that other one that I've banished, and it's in the nether realm. It's gone. But no, it's gone. It's gone, guys. It's gone. It needs to be done. It's a bad idea. It's a bad idea regardless of how much I massage it and try to make it a good application. It is a bad idea at its core. Okay. If I have like weird boogers or anything, just tell me in chat. I'll fix it. Sorry. Julia. Hi, Julia. Thanks for hanging out. All right. So what we're going to do is I'm going to select this. And because it's all strokes, right? And we kind of just like threw this together to get a comp of it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Object, Expand, and that is going to make all of these strokes into fills. And now I have clean vectors. You can see I have all these anchor points in perfect little spots, which is just how I want it. So now we can start tightening things up and really doing like a spring cleaning. You'll see, oh boy. You'll see like this stuff when I just threw it together. This is bad. This is wrong and it's bad and I hate it. But now that we have clean vectors, now that we have shapes, we can align these. And I'm just hitting Command Y to do that. I'm going to align this by clicking, holding Shift and dragging, and it will snap to exactly on that line, which is right where I want it. I'm going to do the same thing with this one. No, Jesse. Jesse, if you want to do it, I, again, sanction everything and anything you want to do. Literally just do it. CanceledCon is for everyone, and it is built by the community. So if you want to do something, there's no rules. I'm just trying to make some rules. And yes, like 90% of the time I'm designing Voodoo Val, I am like the kombucha girl. Like it's like, well, something's, I don't know. Somebody clip that and please send me a GIF. All right, this feels bold and punchy and like in your face, and it communicates what I want it to. It still feels a little heavy on this side. So I'm just going to pull that in a little bit. And again, this is what I need to know when I was making a logo. Yes, this is what you need to know. So now we have too many shapes, right? We want logos to be one shape. We want it to be something that we can put a background behind and it can go on a photo. And right now, even though we're using white, and this is why I keep my background white so I can kind of comp stuff. Let's say that we want this on a pink background. It looks bad because it has these white boxes. So what we're going to need to do is, we'll keep it on the pink background. I'm going to lock that though. What we can do is come in here and we're going to start, think about it as hole punching. We're going to take top objects and punch them out of the bottom objects. So what I want to do is I'm going to take and select this top object, which is the white box. I'm going to click on this bottom, which is the C. And over here in the Pathfinder, I'm going to hit the second one, which is, I believe, subtract. And that is going to hole punch out that piece for us, right? It's great. Love it. Now what I need to do, because it is two separate shapes, this C, I'm going to click on it. I'm going to right click. Nope. I'm going to click on it. I'm going to go to Object, Compound Path, and then hit Make. That basically is saying, hey, I know this is two objects, but I want you to treat it like one. If you're looking for offset stroke, that's actually in Object Path Offset Stroke. If you're looking for Pathfinder, that's in Window Pathfinder. And yes, it's a little bit of like a euro sign. I'm not mad about it because it's different enough. And I think in the context of it being used with the word CanceledCon, and I think once we start using indexes to say this is something else and not a euro, right? We have a symbol that we can augment with indexes. So let's go ahead and grab this one. We're going to punch it out of the bottom again. Got it. And this little shape here, I don't want it anymore. So I'm just going to grab the direct selection tool, click on it and delete. So now we have one shape, and I'm actually going to make this Command 8 is the compound path. We're going to make that a compound path. Now we have this cool little symbol that could represent CanceledCon. Let's do the same thing. How much time do we have? 30 minutes? Yeah, we can get a logo done in 30 minutes. We're going to end up building out a lot of the branding tomorrow. Maybe we can designate typography and color schemes today. Let's try that. So here's that one logo. I'm going to do this other logo real quick. So again, I'm using some hotkeys here. We're going to go to Object, Expand Appearance, Object, Expand. And now we can look and we have some clean vectors. Some weird stuff's happening up here, but that's all right. I'm going to go ahead and punch out this white offset path from this back one. Again, selecting those two, just hitting subtract. And it gave us some weird little anchor points that are extra here. So I'm going to grab the pen tool and just click to subtract those. Now we've got perfect little angles. Now for the problem of getting this stroke to come through. What do I want to do here? Let's do this. That was my thinking face. Let's do this. Let's follow this curve perfectly at a 45. So I'm clicking up on that point, bringing that here and just drawing a line. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 20 pixels. So I'm going to hold Shift and Alt and then hit it over. And I'm doing left one, up one, left one, up one. And what that's doing is it's keeping it at that 45. And I'm kind of going to have to massage this visually. I'm sure there's a technical way to do it, but I don't know how. So we're just going to click and drag that in. And then I'm going to select these two. I'm going to hit Command J, and that's going to join them together. Oops. Command J. There we go, and joins them together. That feels like the right angle and the right thickness, right? We're all good with that? I'm good with that. So we're going to do, again, same thing. And I want this to be inside because I want to keep this perfect 45 here. So we did 1, 2, 1, 2. I think I did 25 pixels left and down. Oh, it's going to mess it up. It's going to mess it up, guys. It put the X off center. I'm not mad about it. Let's roll with it for now because we need to keep going. I'll work on this tonight. And again, this file will be going up, these two files will be going up in the assets channel, which will be a shared folder on canceledcon.com. There's a button that just takes you to a shared folder. I'll be exporting these at the end, so you can feel free to play around with them and kind of do whatever you want. Something that I learned from my friend Ben Stafford that I think is interesting is to simulate shadows by rounding edges. So because this is our master, I'm going to make a copy of this, and I'm just going to start rounding these edges. If I hit A, I can grab these points and it will round all of the edges for us. So I just want a soft rounded edge. Okay, that's looking a little more interesting, but what I really want to do is simulate a shadow. And I learned this from Ben Stafford. He is amazing. He's actually going to be a teacher, which is cool. Is you just grab whatever you want to look like it's in shadow and start to pull it so that it has a little bit of a rounded edge. It's got a little bit wonky. Let's see. I want to point. This is going to get wonky. Let's do this. Let's round this edge off and see what happens. It looks terrible. All right, maybe we're on this edge. So again, we're just playing with stuff. We're just trying new things and seeing what happens. I think it could be interesting to just do the outside edges so we get a little bit more of a rounded C with that hard strike through. So this is interesting. And when I talk about adding indexes, this is what I mean. So if we add an index, I made this a compound path. There we go. If we make this an index, and let's grab a good red color, let's actually grab the color from our inspiration. So I do this a lot is I'll look at mood boards. Did I close it? No, yeah, I did. Oops. Let's go over here to what we've been using. And let's start putting in a little bit of an index. And see, this is where it starts to be less like the London Underground, less like a Euro, that kind of thing, and starts to be like a full kind of piece. And I think it could be interesting. Again, maybe we're using, oops, all of my things went away. If we have maybe a social media image, right? And we're dropping this on the social media image, that maybe it goes like cut off in the corner and we put it in a clipping mask, right? I think it's kind of cool to have like the like strike through going there. And then I think even reversed out, we'll do a version that is reversed out. What am I doing? Oh, I'm doing the C. There we go. Which then would be, this would be white. This would stay red, but it'd come to the front. Oh, it's on multiply. There we go. I think that's interesting too. Do we like chat? Do we want to have another like inline to make it the double C, or are we okay with just having one? Are we okay with one inline C? Sorry, I just like stopped talking. Maybe, and again, logo exploration is all about playing and trying new things. About a half hour, 45 minutes, we're going to be doing Photoshop Daily Challenges. If you have not submitted, go ahead and submit those. Yes, do that. I want to go to there. What are we doing here? Let's grab this one just because it has the inline already. I'm going to line it up perfectly. It's awesome as is. I agree, but like, why not try? Right? Give peace a chance. That feels like it is not centered. Oh, actually, I can just align again because we're using perfect 45-degree angles. I can align it to this path. Oh, I zoomed in way too far. One looks good. Kind of Chicago Cubs vibe. Yes, it is Chicago Cubs vibes for sure. So I'm just going to line that up so it's lined. And this is just for the sake of me being able to ban this to the nether realm. Just know that we could hate it. I'm going to turn off one of the strokes in our panel. And this is the nice thing. I'm going to bring this to the front. I don't know, guys. I'm kind of into it. It's kind of good. It's kind of happening. I'm going to expand it. All right, we're going to punch these out. Oh boy, I hit the wrong thing there. I need to make this compound path, Command 8. I'm going to start using hotkeys, working a little bit faster because I need to get more done. We are going to delete those anchor points, delete those. We just had some stray anchor points, so I'm trying to close them off real quick. So we have those perfect things. One looks good, kind of Chicago. Yes, so much more dynamic. Okay, yes, I agree it's looking more dynamic, but let's do this. Let's bring it over here, and let's do the same thing where we round either of these C's. I think the problem that I was trying to explore here is that it didn't feel like it was a C. So I'm going to round off these two C's so that it actually communicates that both of these are a C. So it's not one C, so that it is not just canceled. It is canceled con, two C's. It's going to place. It's going to place, guys, and gals, and like everybody. Okay, I'm going to put this over here. Man, I just want to watch the replay with no sound. That's just my face doing the things that I feel my face doing. And we'll make this white. Guys, I think that's it. I really think that's it. Like, I think we hit it. Like, that looks dope. Yo, that's lit. I think that's cool. Are we good? Are we like set on like this being the one? Let me know, chat. It feels right. Like it feels right. Like I like it. Let me hop over and try something real quick. Oh, I don't even need to do this. I literally have an Illustrator file with all those things. Y'all, I'm really trying here. All right, we're falling apart at the seams. Right, so like if we do something like this, and this is what we're going to do next, is figure out the type. But if we do something like this, that then has this. So like this is what we need to figure out. Oh, yeah, that's it. This is what we need to figure out next is how we can like pair some type with this. But I think that looks really cool. Like it's feeling right. Have you tried rounding the red horizontal bar? Maybe I kind of want it to be like strike through-y. Oh my goodness, this would look so cool animated, Rebecca. We have our friends at Always Abounding Media. They are going to be doing lower thirds and some video content for the stream. Again, if you're hoping to tune in to CancelCon, it's going to be like this. Like, don't think it's going to be like this super professionally produced video. It's going to be me in my room with a bunch of friends zooming and Skyping in. Some will have pre-recorded videos, but it's going to be super kickback, super chill. We're going to have giveaways. We're going to have prizes. We have sponsors coming in that are going to give you guys some fun stuff. We're going to try to round that. I don't like it. It doesn't. And this is okay. So this is a great lesson. Sorry, I got excited about teaching you. This is a great lesson. So right, we're exploring something, and on the right we have made everything rounded, right? We're like, it could be a good idea to make everything rounded. It would be interesting, right? But the problem is with the strike through is the thing that communicates the aggression, it communicates the boldness, it communicates the strength and the momentum. And so the strike through, yes, somebody just said putting it in in a slant, that could do it. I think rounding these edges, rounded corners often make it softer and more welcoming. And we want that to be the part that informs people. This isn't the London Underground. This isn't the Cubs. This is a punch. This is something that is aggressive. This is canceled con. And yes, Comedy Central is similar, but it's flipped the other way. This is literally every designer's nightmare. Like, hey, let's have 300 people like give you live feedback as you design, but I'm loving it. This is so much fun. So let's try. Okay, so this one I'm going to delete because it feels too soft for me. So let's come in here, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do the bottom left by 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I'm going to do the right by 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's giving it some momentum. But I think the thing that's bugging me about having that is it's competing with the 45-degree angle here. And I think that it's competing with this angle here. And to me, it makes it look like a fitness thing or like a marathon thing. And so this is like not vibing for me. So here we go. Bye. All right. Man, I've lost all of my workspace again. What did I hit, y'all? There we go. All right, this is the winner. What I usually do with the winner is I add a giant pink box above it so that if I'm working and I'm just like, where are all the things? I'm like, oh, here's the one. Boom. Got it. All right. This is where we're going. No more fighting in chat. I love you all. This is the zone we're going. I don't like this type. Okay. So let's start working with pairing some type with it. I loved the idea of, oh no, we could do it. I just had an idea. I love the idea of playing with type. And I've been using this typeface called Titling Gothic. I'm just going to hit Command T. That's going to open my type panel right here. So I've been using Titling. And Titling is a superfamily. So there are all these different variations. So I figured I would use something like this for Canceled Con because as we build out the brand, you can just use any of these and they go together, right? They're in the same universe and the same kind of aesthetic. And so that way, if you all are making something for Canceled Con, you can just toss it into whatever this branding is. How often do these workshops occur? Every single day, Ezekiel. Every day here, behance.net/live, except Saturday, Sunday. All right. Oh my goodness. We have a half hour. Let's get going, guys. Yes, Abigail, it's the best font ever. So let's start playing with this. And with the strength, and like the geometricness of this, I do like the type that I have been using, and I've been using Titling, but in different ways. And so I want to open up the type hierarchy and the definitions of the brand to just be like, I don't know, do whatever you want with Titling. Whoever's the designer of Titling, yeah, this is it. Like you did it. Like you made probably the best font ever. We're going to change this to all caps just because I want it that way. And what I'm going to what I was thinking of is putting this in the middle to just make a single lockup. And maybe we'll do a badge in this similar shape as well. But I think it's interesting. So I'm going to put it in this off black color. And actually, okay, so this is interesting. So if I do this black color, right, I send it to the back and I multiply this red so that it looks like a strike through, nothing happens. It doesn't look like it's interacting. The red, when it multiplies, needs something to add to. So red multiply adds the two colors together. Black is like dividing by 0 or like multiplying by 0, right? We're multiplying by 0. And because there is 0 value, it doesn't do anything. So what I do is instead of being at black, I will take it to this off gray. And usually that off gray is like, I just put in like a 95 here. And it will kind of redo it to different CMYKs. I don't really care about that because this is a digital conference. But we're going to click here. We're going to go to multiply. And now you can see it's interacting with these little elements here. I actually hate I actually hate it. No, I actually hate this type. It looks bad and I don't like it. You're tacky and I hate you. Let's go ahead and we're going to center this type in here. And the great thing about Adobe Illustrator and working with fonts in Illustrator is I can come in here and I can just type in Tightling because I know I want to use Tightling. I'm going to move this over here so we don't have to deal with it. So I can type in Tightling. Oh, I need to have this text selected. So with the text selected, I can type in Tightling. And as I scroll through these, it will live update to show me what it could look like. So like something like this is competing with the logo, but I like the width. When I'm pairing type, even if it's type hierarchy, I want to pair something that is tall with something that is wide. Do something that is either very different or very similar. So I think it's interesting. This like extended squishiness is interesting. I don't want to put Lorem Ipsum here. We're going to do canceled con. Is it going to be one word? Let's make it one word. Why not? All right. So this is looking a certain kind of way. It's too wide. It's too wide. We're going to make a copy again, just to be making copies. Grab here, grab Tightling, and start working. That was a little bit too wide there. So, oh. So I like this, but I like maybe something a little bit taller. So let's keep going here. All right, this is a contender. All right, let's blow that up. So it goes a little bit out of the sides. It's going too far for me. So again, we're going to try one more. See if we can find something in this that is not too wide, but has the tallness. Oh, actually. Okay, so I don't want skyline. I want it like a little more condensed. I want it between skyline. Oh. All right, I'm not mad about this. I like that I just like go quiet and then come back eventually. It's a little too close together, so I'm going to space this out so it has a little bit of room to breathe. There we go. That feels like a vibe to me. Because why not another copy? Yes, my computer can handle it. Why not? Okay, so this is feeling kind of cool. I want it to be a little thicker. I do. I'm going to go to bold instead of medium, and I'm going to bring it in closer so that the A and the O are hitting that line perfectly. So again, it's just little things when you're dialing stuff in. I want this A to hit that line perfectly like that. It's a little detail, but it makes all the difference because it's also splitting this O here. It makes it symmetrical, really locked in. I like where this is going. Wow, what a vibe. We are going to, boop. We're going to hit this with the pink one. All right, so there's a logo type on there. This will be the logo, and then we're also going to do another one that has it locked up here because we are trying to do it as two. This is actually a good pairing. I think I kind of agree. I'm not like sold on the idea of having the letter in there. I actually hate having letters in logos. And so I'm talking myself out of it in my head. So chat, if you can also talk me out of it, that would be great. And we cannot do that. Okay, I think that this Tightling Gothic bold is looking good. It's feeling right. It is on the vibe with me, and it is resonating. You know what that means? Oh no. Avada Kedavra into the nether. We killed it. May. All right, there we go. What time is it? Okay, all right, we're getting somewhere. We're not getting as where as I'd like to, but we're getting somewhere, and that's the point. Progress is perfection. Mike Jones. Yes, hello. Okay, cool. Oh, Oh my goodness. Hello. Sorry, I'm just seeing people that I'm like excited to see, which is all of you. Gosh, take myself out of that hole. So we have one here, and then let's do one more version that is happening. And we are going to do that as a horizontal lockup. This is going to get way too wide. So I'm going to blow this up and have something like this. I got an idea, and it's going to be so good for the wide version, right? What if we're doing it like as a footer, what if this just extends all the way and like that becomes the lockup, right? That this like sits a little bit closer like that, and it becomes like this cool system that can be a whole bunch of things, right? That like this could be on a name tag instead of having like a logo in the corner. This could be on the name tag, and it like just is scaled to like, hey, that's my name. I'm saying like so much. That's how I get when I'm in a vibe, I guess. Right? And like this is now my name tag. We'd like probably right align that. That's cool. So I love doing stuff like this that like, again, I think that logos are like on their way out unless they're used in this kind of way, that it creates a system that can be used for other stuff, right? Let's say that we have a photo, and I'm going to go back. We don't have our mood board open. Did I save that? Ugh, our mood board might be gone. But let's hop over here real quick. I'm just going to grab like a picture, a quick like screen cap of my face. Come on. There we go. New. Grab this. Got it. We're just going to copy this and paste it over here. Right? So like imagine that this is a social media image. And let's imagine that it has like some black over it. And again, this is how branding works for me. It's very like just random, like whatever happens, and you kind of roll with it. And then, I'm going to do this. I'm going to make this red and multiply it over this photo. And again, we're just playing here. And let's say that, hey, this is a speaker. Yes, I am speaking at my own conference. And like, this could be a vibe, right? That it goes over these backgrounds and starts to have, maybe this goes white, but something like this idea. Oh, that's actually kind of cool too, that it like breaks the idea of the logo and like kills the name of the speaker, but like just goes by the last name, whatever. Okay. So this is like, right. It's turning into a system, turning into something that we could use. I think these are all interesting. We have about 25 minutes left. So let's work on some type hierarchies, because right now, if I hop over to the website, this is a nightmare. And it's not, I don't like it for like visibility and stuff. And yes, red on black is not great for visibility. I'm going to try to use steer away from that as much as I can. Sorry, my shoulder's feeling weird from holding the mouse, but we're here. If you see me just like massaging my shoulder. This type is weird. So let's do some hierarchy. We're going to set H1, which is a header one. We're going to do a subhead. And then we're also going to do some body copy, because yeah, there's a lot of that going on here. So let's start working on that. Usually we want to work from the most important to the least important. I'm going to try to keep these all in fonts that are on Adobe fonts, so that as I publish this file and as I publish the Creative Cloud library for you all to use, it's something that we can all make stuff together, keep it cohesive. It is, it's not the first. I'm not going to say that. It might be, it might be the first open source worldwide brand system. Not saying that it is. I'm not saying that it is, but if it was, it's for everyone, and I'm excited to see what you guys make with it. So let's work on some type hierarchy. What I like to do here is I like to type out the words that I think would be there. the words that I think would be in the section. So this will be our H1, which will be the heading. This will be the most important. And again, I'm just dropping random content in here right now. Come hang out. Let's say that. Under that. And I keep looking this way because my toolbar is under my camera too. And so I have to lean over to look under it. And then under that, maybe we have, that's where maybe we'll put a, let's put the times here. So it will be 8 a.m. PST to 8 p.m. Oh, it's PDT because it's daylight savings time. There's know how I feel about that. And then under that, I'm just going to add in a box with some lorem ipsum. And what I'm doing here is I am just, there we go. I am just doing, this will be our heading 1. This will be our heading 2. Heading, this will be like a deck, which is called, it's like a subhead, like a call out kind of thing. And then our body copy. These all look crazy right now. So what I'm going to do is I actually want to put the logo here next to this just for visual reference for me to be like, all right, what's going on here? See if this all works together. I never, ever, ever want the headline to be the same as the type that I'm using for the logo type. Windows Shift S? Oh my goodness, yes. That's awesome. I have literally been using this forever. I'm a Mac guy and I built a PC. So I never want to use the same one for the header, but let's keep it in the titling family. But I want something that's big and bold. And I think that because our logo type is so tall, we want something that is a little more extended. And again, we want it to be like punch. All right, I think that that's going somewhere. I think this is too close. Get this. Ah! There we go. Okay, so we're keeping this like near, but not too close. So I think this is not competing too much. Let's see what happens if we take this a little bit further. What is that, normal? So let's do normal, skyline. Where's extended? Wide? Okay, I'm not mad about wide. Yes, Abigail, you're not dumb. It is spelled both ways. There is literally any way to spell it. Again, there's no rules. Okay, so our subhead, we want to be complementary, but not the same. Is there trade Gothic in? There is, yes. Trade Gothic's my favorite for everything. Oh, guys, what if we like get crazy with the type hierarchy and put all of the subheads in italics? I'm doing it. Thanks, Voodoo Val. There are just a few minutes left until the challenge feedback deadline. Submit your stuff in the next 3 minutes. Submit that challenge. We will take a look at it. I'll give you some feedback. I think we're compositing today, and then we'll hop back in and finish up some of this stuff. Oops. All right. You know what? I'm doing it. Like if we're going to send it, we're going to go full send. All of the subheads will be in italics. That's such a no-no, but I don't care. Okay. And then let's do the deck, which will be what we will be putting like times and names in. I want this to match the heading, but be lighter and a little less important. It's going to have a lot of names and info. So I'm actually going to try to make it not as wide. What are we doing here? That's wide. So let's maybe do, let's see if there's something between wide. Titling, that's what it's called. Sorry, my brain like completely shut off for a second and I was like, what am I typing? Titling Gothic, extended standard, extended light. Light's going to be too hard to read. So let's do extended. And then I'm just going to bring the size down. There we go. So we're getting this kind of like off-white slash, like eclectic kind of pairings. I wonder, yeah. Yep. Okay. And then let's add in a body copy. For body copy, I usually use a serif, and let's do it. Oh, I just spit all over my mic. That's so gross. I've been using this typeface, and I actually don't remember what it's called, but I think it'd be interesting to take it because it's digital and do the body copy in a like digital mono serif. So I'm going to click here. And I'm just in, I'm still in Illustrator, popped up the type menu and clicking through here. Yes, Chaucer Riza in the house, ConsulCon forever. He is coming to speak at ConsulCon as well. I may be doing a Chomp, fashion show. Actually, doing a little Chomp fashion show. Sorry, I can't wear it the other way, Josh, because the lighting. But that'll be fun. Come hang out on the stream. So I'm in the type window here. I'm filtering, and I want to do a mono, I'm in find more. I want to filter to a mono space, and then I want something that is the same. Actually, do I want this? Yes, I do. So something that's like digital that like feels like computery, I think could be super interesting. This pairing is completely out of control. And here's the thing. If I end up on brand new and get torn to bits, it's okay because I was happy making it. It brought me joy and hopefully brought joy to other people. I don't want... I clicked the wrong thing, guys. I don't want this in all caps, so we're going to go here. And yes, I know that we are past deadline for feedback. I promise it will be happening in just a second once we get this in here. Oh, Gus and Josh are becoming friends. I'm so happy. Okay, I don't remember the font that we had, but I want something that looks digital, that is monospaced, that has serifs. I keep scrolling through these slowly, not that much. Like I want it to be very subtle kind of serif, that still is very easy to read. Actually, okay, what's this? PT mono regular. Yep, that's it. Oh, come on. Okay, so then if I hit this little cloud, it will sync. It is currently syncing. It's thinking about it. It's like, hey, do you want this font? And I'm like, yeah. Why do I love and hate that? Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I think that, like, the thing that I want is to make people angry in their heart, but then, like, look at it and be like, yeah, I guess not. Like, I want everyone to be the kombucha girl. Okay, so we're using PT mono. It is syncing. While it's syncing, let's hop over. Hello. Hi. Let's hop over and look at some of the feedback that's happening in Discord. Sorry, I'm getting my bearings if you're just looking at my face. Current challenge. Okay, cool. So if you are not in Discord, you can go into Discord right here. Whee! Discord, that's the link. We're hanging out, and we are currently in the current challenge tab. Let's see if we can go down to the most recent. You guys are killing it. I like scream when I sneeze. I'm so sorry. So let's take a look at some of these. There's a lot. I'm still on the wrong screen, so let's hop over here. Oh, we're doing it. Do it live. Okay, cool. So I think the challenge here today, let's actually hop over into Behance real quick and see what the challenge was. Seamlessly combine the foreground of one image with the background of another. Use a curves adjustment layer to match colors. Cool. That sounds like fun. So it looks great. I think people are posting some before and afters, so we can scroll through. Oh, this is not an AI stream. This is a branding stream. We've just been working in Illustrator. Tomorrow, we will explore Photoshop, InDesign, and Illustrator as we go through the branding. I think it's design and branding, I think it's called. I don't know. This is great. This is super smooth. The one thing that I would suggest with this, Ninasa, is look at where your light sources are coming from. So the light source here is coming from the left, and here you have the light source coming from the right. What's great about something like this is there's no type on it. So what you can do is you can literally mirror the image and no one will know. And you can fake that this light is then hitting his face. And that will help. You did a great job pulling the tones together. The tones are definitely on point, but fixing that lighting to where it is flipped so that he's getting hit with a little bit of this. And just select that layer, go to layer, transform, reflect horizontal, and it should change that for you. Yes, Ashley, you are absolutely invited to CancelCon. Everyone is. Everyone come hang out. Oh, yeah. So you did have a little bit of key light here, but I don't think you needed it per se. Flipping it to the other side will help that. Oh, more people. Wow, great job with the toning. You can see the difference here. That's fantastic. Great job. I would brighten up a little bit in maybe some highlights. Adding in just a little bit of like even white at like 5% opacity, or changing it to overlay will help pull that up if you do white. Doing here, before and after. Great job. I would actually pull the purples down a little bit. Just pull the greens up a little bit and it will help kind of offset that. Also, when you're masking here, if you do select and mask, you can go in with this hair and kind of go over the hair and it will actually pick up those individual threads. It's looking a little bit rough in some of these smaller areas here. Actually, no, I'm kind of wrong. Well, yeah, like right here and stuff, you can go in the select and mask and mask out that hair a little bit better. Oh, this is like the guy. Okay, I thought like, why is this one person posting this guy so many times? It's probably like the asset that you got and it's like the guy. That's hilarious. Okay, so same thing here. I think a lot of people are doing this, that the light is coming in from this right, and I think that it should be coming in from the left because of this. And again, if there's not type on anything, you can cheat the way that people are facing literally whenever you want to. If there is type on their shirt, either take it off or you're kind of out of luck. All right, combining backgrounds here. Doing great. It feels a little bit dark. I would add an adjustment layer just on top of this and pull the curves up. Like just literally pull all of the curves up. This is fantastic and great, and I love it. And actually what I love here, and I know that this is like kind of funny, but I love that you're hitting the light with yourself here. And there is a shadow here. So maybe, again, flip yourself. Actually flip this whole thing so that you have the light hitting you on this side and then you have the light hitting him on this side. Your tones are fantastic. Great job there. First time using Photoshop, Maddie, welcome to the party. Your whole life is changed. Great job masking. Got a little bit rough in the ear here. Sometimes in those corners, Photoshop will do that. For your toning, what I would do is I would bring up the contrast a little bit. Your contrast in the background is very contrasty. And yes, cheat the background. Oh yeah, flip the background. I don't know why I'm telling everyone to flip the person. Yeah, flip the background. Your background's very contrasted and the contrast is very low on the actual image. Pulling that hair to close to black, you can see the exposure on your image around the edges is very dark. So even putting a vignette above him to affect both the person and the background, and then pulling up the contrast on him so that his hair gets a little bit more contrasted. Contrasted? How do you say contrasted? Oh, the puppy. Oh, the little puppy. He's gorgeous. This is awesome. Great job. The only thing that I would suggest is maybe add some more highlight in these eyes to really make them pop, and just in the irises. So something you can do is with this highlight that's happening here, go a 45-degree angle on their eye and lighten this part here, and it will look like the light is coming through the eye because there's a little bit of like that like weird jelly. And so it will look like it's coming through the eye and then landing over here. Man, you guys did a great job. You did so much stuff. Wow, this is great. This is like Law and Order. Like, I would work on select and mask a little bit with the hair. I know hair can be difficult, but you can do hair very easily. I could show you, maybe we'll show you tomorrow, but you can also YouTube it. There's a million videos that will show you how to do the hair. This is great. The only thing I'd suggest is maybe adding a little bit more of a highlight along this edge, a little bit here. Other than that, your tones are great. The purples are a little hot for me. So I'd pull the greens up just a little bit. If you can see, there's a little bit of green happening in the glow of this. So I'd pull the greens up just a little bit, and see how that works. Wow. The difference between these two is really great. Great job, Mimor. Yeah. Going to, that looks like Vegas, but it's not. This is probably by the same architect who did the crystals. This is good. I would pull the reds down in your face a little bit, and pull the blues up. It's a very gloomy day, so I would pull some of the blues a little bit up, and play with some of those adjustment layers, but it's looking good. Keep going here. Wow, great contrast. The yellows got a little bit hot for me, so I'd pull the blues up a little bit, especially. So a little cheat is to look at the darkest part of the photo. So looking at the darkest part here, it's not black, it's a little bit blue. And then looking here, it's black. So you want this black to match the darkest point. So play with your yellows, pull them down a little bit so the blues go up. And it will help to create this shadow to match this blue happening here. The composite looks clean though. Great job. Hey, what's up? Hanging out. This is a great, yeah, good job. You, the hair a little bit here again. But yeah, it feels like you cheated well. I would decrease the contrast and the exposure a little bit on this. And I think you will be totally fine. So yes, Sam Peterson, oh, hello. The whole Adobe team is in here. Mentor, Sam Peterson, Tim's in here. They're giving you feedback. So if you haven't done the Daily Creative Challenge, again, you can do it here by going and clicking on the Daily Creative Challenge. You can watch the video, catch up, and get incredible feedback from a lot of our friends. Let's hop back here for a second. So we're going to hop back in. We got about 20 minutes, I think, to hop back in, finish up some of the stuff. I want to get the type hierarchy and the color schemes done so that I can get them up in the Creative Cloud folder for you to all make stuff. And then hopefully tomorrow, maybe we can look at things all together and see where we have gone. So let's hop back in. If you're just joining us, we are working on branding for something called CanceledCon, which is an online conference for people that can't attend conferences that have been canceled or postponed. Yes, check out the challenge tab for details. It's right above. Oh, let's see if I can do it. It's right over there. I think it's right over there. It might be over there. All right. So the thing that we got that I think that we had synced was PT Mono. That was what it was called. I forgot. I'm sorry. I did that right into the mic. PT Mono. I'm going to take this down. The spacing probably needs to be at 0. And then I'm going to take this down to be a little bit more at a body copy size, maybe 50. I'm going to take the tracking in to be a little bit closer, and we're just going to type, fill with placeholder text. And we look at this. This feels like a cool type hierarchy, right? It's kind of weird, kind of funky, kind of fun, kind of fresh. And I like it. Let's go ahead and drop these into true black as well. Ooh, I did the wrong thing there. Oh, what do I want to do? I'm doing this the most backwards way. I just wanted to eyedrop the black, and I outlined the type to do that. All right. Hey, Mark Bowden. What's up? Mark is in Bermuda. Bermuda, Bahama. Come on, Mark Bowden. Okay. So we've got logo lockup. We have variations of logo lockup. We have some instruction. Oh, you can't see it. Oh, guys. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, the chat has a delay too. So you're going to be sitting there for like so long thinking like he doesn't see it. All right. I'm sorry. That was my bad. I owe you so many things. I don't know. I'll give you something tomorrow, chat. Here's what I'll do. I'll drop a free font into I have fonts in my shop. If you just go to Hoch.co, yeah, let's do some shameless plugs after totally messing up. So if you just go to Hoch.co, you can follow me on all social medias, get updates about CanceledCon. But on that site, I also have a shop, Hoch.shop, and I sell fonts on there. But I would rather have you get these from Adobe Fonts. But I will be putting one of my fonts from that shop into the folder that is here, CanceledCon. If you click on Design Assets, it will take you to an Adobe Creative Cloud folder, and this will be full of fun assets for you. I will be putting in the type hierarchies. I will be putting in the logos. I will be putting in these variations of the logos. I will be putting in color schemes, everything to help you create whatever you need for promoting or helping out with CanceledCon. We'll be continuing tomorrow, and if you guys need help, or if you guys want to help, I will have a list of things that's like, hey, here are the things that I need help with. Voodoo Val, that is actually not my website anymore. Hoch.co is the new website, hoch.co. That is my old website. It has work on it. You can check it out, whatever. All right, enough talking about me. So let's start putting this all together. So we have our CanceledCon logo. We've got our type hierarchy here. Let's go ahead and put this guy over here. Oops, I want to make copies of everything. Thank you, Sky. And yes, you can go to canceledcon.com. You can go to hoch.co/canceledcon. You can go to canceledcon.com with 2 L's. I got you, yo. All right, and this guy is the singular. I think we'll need, excuse me, man, I keep doing that into the mic. Oh, it's my old website still on my Behance. I'm sorry. Oh, sorry guys. Oh man, this is the end of the stream where my voice starts to go and then I come back tomorrow. We are, oh, okay. I noticed you have great positivity when brainstorming your designs. What do you do when you feel that inspiration is not coming to you? Usually I'll get up, take a walk, or I will do something that is like completely unrelated. So like I'll watch Bon Appetit videos all the time of them cooking if I am like can't find inspiration, and that gives me inspiration from other places. So getting out of design is really the way that I get inspiration when I feel stuck. To just get into a place where I'm like, I'm not going to design something for a second and see if it comes back to me. All right. And the reversed out variants of these, we always want to have some reversed out variants. I'm not going to use this reversed out variant very often. And so I'm about to make a bold move here. My theme for 2020 is big moves only. And so we're about to make a big move. It is like I give things away for free all the time. I do give things away for free all the time. I have been very fortunate in my freelance career so far, 8 months in, and I think that there are other people that can use the resources. That I don't really need the money right now, so why not give it for free? All right, y'all. This is this is a move, but this is officially the approved reversed out version of the logo. I don't care. It's so wrong that I literally don't care. And then let's do a version that is reversed out over here. It's all white, and we are going to stretch this out. There we go. And we have reversed out versions. This isn't multiply. There we go. So as a link to AI Discord, it is I actually don't know. Drop a link. I was going to try to quote it, but it's not going to work. All right, we got about 5 minutes left. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you one last trick because we have all of these things set. I'm going to start making assets for you guys. So I'm going to go ahead and grab the colors that we're using. So really, it's just this red and this black. We may add another color in tomorrow. Who knows? But for now, we're just going to use these 2 colors. And let's add a white in here. Why not? And I'm going to come over here. I'm just going to make a new group. We're going to call this CanceledCon. I'm going to hit OK. I probably should be pulling CMYKs and PMS colors for this, but I'm not right now. And then what I'm going to do is with this selected, I'm going to go to this little thing here, and I'm going to do save swatch library as AI. I'm going to come over into this CancelCon folder and these CancelCon assets, and I am going to name this colors. There we go. That is syncing to the Creative Cloud. If you go to cancelcon.com and click on assets, it will be there for you to now use those colors and do literally whatever you want. One last trick I'm going to show you to export all of these different versions of the logo is I'm going to hit Shift O, and that will bring up my artboards tool. Actually, I'm going to make groups of all these before. This is not the right color. There we go. So I'm going to hit, I'm going to make groups of all of these before. Group, Command G. I'm just hitting Command G here. Super easy. I am going to leave those. Actually, I'm going to delete these on black. I'm going to know they're there. And usually I would outline these fonts, but I'm not going to outline these fonts because I know that people will need to download them. No, that's silly. I'm going to outline these fonts. I'm like trying to like prove a case, and I'm like, no, exactly not that. All right, we're going to end just on time. Then I'm going to hit Shift O, and what I'm going to do is because these all grouped, oh, I hit the wrong button. Oh no, what did I do? Oh no, I turned on the perspective grid. Oh no. Oh no. How do you turn it off? Someone help me. I don't know how to turn it off. Oh no. All right. I'm going to go in here and I'm going to grab the artboards tool. Good thing there's multiple ways to do things. I'm just going to select all of these logos that we have created here. Some of them are hiding. I'm going into outline mode to grab them. There we go. And we are just going to hit this plus. Oh no, that is not going to be it. Oh no, guys, I might need to get out of artboards tool is over here. There's an artboards tool over here. There it is. I got it. Okay, we got an artboards tool. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to click on these, and you need to double click, and it will make an artboard that's exactly the size of any positive space. And these are going to be super helpful for me as I export these for you. Now we have a version of all of the logos, and they are all outlined. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to File, Export, Export for Screens. I'm going to make sure that this is going into the right file, into CancelCon Assets. That is the folder I want. And I'm just going to check off these. I'm going to do CancelCon. This is logo. This will be CancelCon logo. Logo wide. This will be CancelCon mark. Oh, hi, Mark. And then this will be CancelCon mark white. CancelCon wide white. And then CancelCon logo white. And what I'm doing is I'm naming these so that the artboards stay named. And now when I export them, I can say here, I want these to be PNGs. And I'm going to set these at 300. You probably only need them at 72. But I'm going to do 300 for you. And then I'm also going to add a SVG version so that you can have scalable vector graphics to put them and use them as vectors. So super helpful. I have all my artboards. I have the ones selected that I want. And then I am exporting a PNG at 300 and an SVG as well. I'm going to hit Export Artboard. And now if we go over to our file, you can see that, there we go, CancelCon. CancelCon Assets, you can see it has SVGs, PNGs, and the colors all in there for you, as well as a social media share graphic. So again, thank you so much for hanging out with me. This is a blast. Like, I had such fun doing this. I definitely want you guys to go and check out cancelcon.com right here, cancelcon.com. I'm going to be updating some of this with the type hierarchies, with the logos, with the colors that we built today. I will be dropping the type hierarchies into this Creative Cloud folder, and you can access that. You can see it syncing right now with all those logos. You can access that by clicking right here on Design Assets on cancelcon.com. You can grab all of those and start building social media images. You can share with your friends. You can put the logo on things. I will be doing the type hierarchy right after this stream because we have literally 1 minute. But come back tomorrow from 12 to 2, same time, Pacific Daylight Time. I will be helping to build out a lot of the social graphics. And I'm actually going to come with a huge list of things that we need to build to make this con happen and to build out the system. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a list and we'll hop into Discord. If you guys want to make things, you can help me make social media graphics. You can help me make, I don't know, totes. You can make whatever you want. And we will be either dropping that in Discord or uploading it to another Creative Cloud folder so that it becomes a brand that is eternally scaling for a worldwide conversation. If you're from other countries, working in other languages, come on out, hang out. And if you want to help translate for Canceled Con, that'd be great too. Shoot me a DM, slide into those DMs, and we'll figure it out. So thank you so much for hanging out. Next up, let's take a look at the schedule. If we go over here. So next up on Adobe Live is no one on the end of the day, but tomorrow morning, 9 a.m., Jesus Ramirez is back with another Photoshop Daily Creative Challenge. And then at 9:30, he will be doing creating photo presets. We'll actually be working with those tomorrow. Andrea Hoch is right before, not to be confused with Andrew Hochradel. So I think that's pretty much it. Thank you guys so much for hanging out today. I will see you again tomorrow. Ashi, hello friends, Kara, thanks for tuning in. You guys are awesome. And yeah, go check out the website, grab the assets, and start making some stuff. I will see you tomorrow. Where's my outro button? There it is. Bye.